Hey everybody, it's Corey. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to get a maxed out credit card paid off with zero cash flow a month. Maybe you have a maxed out credit card with a big minimum payment and you cannot figure out how to knock this thing down and you have no extra money to pay it down. This is how you're going to do it. Okay friends, so here's an example. Let's say you make $3,000 a month for your income and your expenses are also $3,000 a month. You have zero cash flow right now. You have a $10,000 credit card at $400 a month at roughly 20% interest, right? So you're making that $400 a month minimum payment and it's not knocking this credit card down. You're stuck with zero cash flow. Everything's frustrating, right? We've all been there. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to use a term called velocity banking, and I promise this works with discipline and easy math, okay? So here's what you're going to do. Your rent or your car loans, right? Those cannot be paid on a credit card. So let's say this person's rent is $1,000 a month. They don't have a car loan, for example. So $1,000 a month is going to stay cash for your rent or whatever. That's going to take your expenses down to $2,000, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to put $2,000 as a payment into your credit card, okay? So this is the first month, you have $10,000. You're going to make a payment of $2,000 into the credit card, and the other $1,000 is going to your rent. And you're saying, well, what do? I don't have any money left to pay my bills. Wrong. Now that you've done that, you satisfied your credit card payment. You no longer have the $400 a month payment because you put a payment of $2,000 in. This is called velocity banking, guys. So what this does is it takes your credit card down to $8,000 right away, okay? That means that you can make your utility payments off of your credit card. And your expenses, instead of $2,000, are now $1,600 because you freed up that $400 a month that you were making on the credit card each month. So you just keep repeating this step. The second month, you're back up to $9,600 because you made your bill payments using the credit card, so it goes back up to $9,600. And again, you put your $2,000 chunk in as a payment. Satisfies what you had before, and you're taking the other $1,000 for your rent because you can't use a credit card for rent. Okay? Then you're going to pay your utilities, the $1,600 that month, back onto the credit card. That's going to take it back up to $9,200. Okay, that's month 2. You're going to do it again. $2,000 payment takes it down to $7,200 plus your utilities. Now you're down to $8,800, and you can see the pattern, right? You're knocking down that credit card over time by velocity banking and living off of your credit card, with the exception of your rent. Okay, and some of you might say, well, why would I do that? That's dangerous. I don't want to live off of a credit card. Well, you already were. You maxed out this credit card, right? That was a poor decision. We've all been there. It's okay. But you did it at 20%. So now you're knocking this down with bigger chunk payments, and you're pulling back out what you need for your utilities, groceries, gas, whatever. And you're velocity banking off that credit card. Now, it's going to take you some time. We could do the math. 10,000. You chunk it off like this month to month. It's going to take you, 1 to 2 years to pay off that credit card. But where would you have gone otherwise? You don't want to get a personal loan to pay this off because the interest on those is terrible. The only other recommendation I have is to get a line of credit, a personal line of credit, or a HELOC, a home equity line of credit if you can, and pay off that credit card using that. That's also another method you could do. But if you don't want to go and apply for something new, and you want to just continue to use the credit card you already have, then I suggest velocity banking off the credit card and pay it down until that's all gone. Now, here's the other thing. You might say, well, what if I have an emergency? Well, before you didn't have an emergency, you had $0, right? When each month that you're making this payment, you're freeing up money now on that credit card for emergencies. So after, 1, 2, 3, 4 months, you now have roughly $1,200 free on that credit card in case you have an emergency, and it just keeps going. I know that this is really confusing, and I know it seems too good to be true. It legit works. I was a little bit skeptical about velocity banking when I first learned about it, and I've applied it to my finances personally in the last year, and my debt is getting paid down faster than it ever has. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'm happy to help you guys the best I can.